The disgruntled Congress Neta Navjot Singh Sidhu was summoned to Delhi by the party high command. Sidhu met Congress President Sonia Gandhi at her residence at 10 Janpath. The meeting lasted for about 1 hour, has now concluded. Party's Punjab in charge, Harish Rawat, was also present during the meeting. After the meeting was over, Harish Rawat has said that no decision was taken in the meeting and final decision on the peace formula will be taken officially by the party president. Meanwhile, India Today does have exclusive details as to why Sidhu was suddenly called to Delhi. It appears that Captain Amrinder Singh, the incumbent Chief Minister of Punjab, is reportedly upset over Sidhu's meeting with 5 ministers and 10 MLAs yesterday. According to sources, Sidhu in that meeting reportedly provoked the ministers and MLAs to offer mass resignations. After this, Captain had a long conversation with Harish Rawat, the Punjab affairs in charge, and it appears that after that, the high command of the party called Sidhu to national capital, and that captain still is miffed about possible elevation for the popular Neta Navjot Singh Sidhu. Captain has cited his seniority as a ground for the displeasure.
बिल्कुल कौन कहता है? आप कृपा करके मेरे बयान को बहुत केयरफुली पढ़िए जो मैंने कहा है और शब्दों को समझिए। जब तक कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट बात को क्लियर नहीं करती है तब तक मुझे भी जानकारी इस बात की नहीं हो सकती है कि इनफैक्ट उनका लास्ट डिसीजन क्या होने जा रहा है।
नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू से पूछ लें पहले कहाँ जाना है उनको। अभी वो आम पार्टी के बारे में बड़ाई कर रहे थे, आम पार्टी वाले उनकी कर रहे थे। ये जो लोग ब्लैकमेलिंग करते हैं, मुझे लगता है राजनीति में ये सेवा करने के लिए नहीं आए। जो मुद्दे हैं जिससे कांग्रेस डूबेगी, उन मुद्दे पर क्या करेंगे सिद्धू? इनको कोई बचाने वाला नहीं है। कुछ भी कर लें, कैसे भी कर लें, खाली इनका बंटवारे से मतलब है।
So what could be the possible reasons that Navjot Singh Sidhu was summoned today to Delhi by the party's high command? There are some scenarios emerging. Sidhu held meetings with 5 loyal ministers and 10 MLAs yesterday, as sources are telling us, but it was not just about the meeting. Sidhu reportedly provoked these ministers and MLAs to offer mass resignations from the Congress party in Punjab, and then allegedly asked these ministers and MLA to dump Captain Amrinder Singh, thereby proving his clout within the party. Captain Amrinder has complained to the Congress Punjab in charge, Harish Rawat. There was a long conversation that took place, after which he has likely been summoned to Delhi. The Congress High Command then called Sidhu after this long conversation took place. So the question is, was this a moment of elevation? As Anand Patel, my colleague, now joins us from the national capital, Delhi. So, Anand, it appears, as you're telling us, no official decision, and we are still speculating if this is a moment of elevation or a moment of being told clearly to not jump the line.
Well, Pooja, yes, you're right that the final decision has to be announced by the Congress President Sonia Gandhi, and this is what was reiterated by Punjab affairs in charge for the party, Harish Rawat, as well, when he spoke to the media outside 10 Janpath once the meeting was over between the Congress President and Navjot Singh Sidhu, in which he was also present. But the fact remains is that Navjot Singh Sidhu is the front runner as the for the post of PCC chief. Our sources are telling us that it's just a matter of time that the announcement is made. Although the Punjab in charge is denying anything, not confirming at the moment, but this is what we are picking up, and it's just a matter of time that the announcement is made. And Captain Amrinder Singh, yes, he is not happy with the decision because there is a lot of bad blood between the two camps. Sidhu had been making number of comments against the veteran leader, which hasn't gone down well with his supporters. So yes, the Congress president has met Navjot Singh Sidhu, and definitely she would have cautioned him against the kind of language.
And Anand, all of this, when the party should basically be following a strategy to win elections, to return to power in some of the few rule states that are still being led by the Congress party. Thank you so much. Anand Patel will be tracking all the latest on what comes now after this meeting. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa is likely to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi today evening. That amid reports of Karnataka Chief Minister possibly being replaced now. Yediyurappa has left for the national capital, but not alone. He is now travelling with his sons Vijayendra and Raghavendra. According to reports, the tentative time of the meeting is 7 p.m, but that official confirmation has not yet come. He has also sought a meeting with Home Minister Amit Shah. Last month, remember, BJP MLAs from the state of Karnataka met top leadership in Delhi, and reports surfaced that they are demanding a change of chief minister. After the rebellion, the BJP Karnataka in charge, Arun Singh, has said there is no question of leadership change and that Yediyurappa will be the chief minister for next 2 years and finish his term.
Sir, we are going to Delhi to meet our Prime Minister and all other important four ministers. ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪ್ರಧಾನಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಉಳಿದಂಥ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಏನೇನು ಕೆಲಸಗಳಾಗಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಮನವರಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅನುಮತಿಯನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
Sir, the change in leadership, sir. Sir, is there any leadership change? Sir, is there any leadership issue? What have you said? Allegation is there is change of leadership in the state, sir. Sir.
Nagarjun Dwarka now trying to get in a word there from the Chief Minister. Nagarjun completely evasive for now, trying to pin it on possible public projects that are required. But what possibly are the permutations and combinations available with the BJP? Because if Yediyurappa goes, there's no successor as of now right away for the BJP.
Well, that's true. Let's also dissect the statement that the CM has given. He said he's going for official development project. Then if he's going, then why is he going with the family? We saw the ticket copy that he's flying with the family members. And we have never seen a Prime Minister call the Chief Minister personally to meet him and discuss irrigation projects, road work projects. That has never happened in the central government. There is a certain protocol. You go to the concerned minister and then the note is submitted to the PMO. Then PMO looks at it and only then it trickles down. It doesn't take the way that the PM calls the Chief Minister right away and say, let's talk about irrigation projects. So everything seems fishy right now, and adding up to the fact that our sources have been saying that things could change for Yediyurappa in the next few hours is what we are told. Will that result in a change of leadership? That's the big question. Or will he be cautioned and warned, saying you have to pull up your socks, administration should be the priority? So that's the question we'll know in maybe a couple of days from here on. But what are the options in front of BJP today? Will they have to replace Yediyurappa? Will they do it from a Lingayat or a backward community, or will it be a Dalit community? That's the big question. There are 3 deputy chief ministers already, one from Lingayat, one from Vokkaliga, one from Dalit. Will these 3, one of them will be elevated, or will there be a dark horse that will be placed in CM chair? That's the question. But as BJP, people cover BJP, they know the cards are close to their chest, and it's unlikely that the press will get to know anytime soon.
And usually, of course, the Delhi leadership is often restrained with regard to giving out a name very soon. But is definitely something up there in Delhi, or as Yediyurappa says, all is well, only coming to Delhi for public projects meeting? So why possibly could B.S. Yediyurappa be replaced at all? Why are these reports coming in? One of the reasons is, could he be jeopardizing the party's expansion plan in Karnataka, in other states, has a mind of his own, could sabotage the grooming of a new face? Remember, he is now a senior face of the party. They won't want a young face as well. Unlikely to go for next elections with an 80-year-old, and therefore the party would want to consider his successor. Court cases against Yediyurappa have made him and his position untenable, because that's how the opposition has been attacking B.S. Yediyurappa on corruption charges. BJP has been promoting the Lingayat leaders as well, and therefore that vote bank factor does come into play. This is important. He is not seen as a hardline Hindutva leader in the manner in which perhaps some leaders from the RSS would want him to be projected. His exit could pave way for better governance, is how the opposition and often people and dissenters within his own party have maintained that it is time for Yediyurappa to be replaced. However, remember, in southern states, especially in Karnataka, it was B.S. Yediyurappa who has best projected the Bharatiya Janata Party in the far past few years. It is faith versus COVID over the annual Kanwad pilgrimage procession. The Supreme Court asking Uttar Pradesh government to reconsider its decision to allow the yatra. The court has said that the matter concerns everyone. Right to life is paramount. All other sentiments, including religious sentiments, are currently subservient to the basic fundamental right that in background of the COVID pandemic that is still raging. Supreme Court has asked Uttar Pradesh government to respond by Monday to the suggestion of cancelling the yatra, after which the court may then file an order. Centre has told the UP government, meanwhile, that it must not permit the Kanwar Yatra and can make the Ganga Jal, which is the holy water, available through tankers in Uttar Pradesh for the Kanwaryas. However, it appears that Yogi Adityanath-led Uttar Pradesh government for now is adamant on the decision and stating that the procession will be done with COVID protocol in place. The Supreme Court had termed this decision as disturbing. And not only the court, even the Indian Medical Association made their stance clear that at no condition any state at this juncture should allow any mass religious gathering. A day after Mehul Choksi returned to Antigua from Dominica, the diamond businessman once again is now playing a victim. In an audio message sent to India Today, Choksi has now accused the Indian agencies of allegedly kidnapping him and more. Listen in to this special report.
Fugitive diamantaire Mehul Choksi breaks silence after returning to Antigua from Dominica. In an audio message sent to India Today, Choksi plays the victim card, claims kidnapping and torture, his plans on returning to India.
I'm back home, but this torture has left permanent scars on my psychology and physically, rather permanent scars on my soul.
Desperate Choksi accuses Indian agencies of kidnapping.
I could have never imagined that after closing down all my business and seizing all my properties, a kidnapping attempt would be made on me by the Indian agencies. I was always hearing about it, but I never believed that they could go to this extent. When I'm legally contesting and exercising my legal rights here in Antigua,
Cornered Choksi claims he is ready for questioning in Antigua.
I've many times spoken that due to my health I have not been able to travel, and please visit here if you want to interrogate me, or by Zoom or anything. I'm always available. But this inhuman and brazen kidnapping was never expected by me.
Choksi's melodrama doesn't end there. He claims threat to his life if he comes to India.
Though till now I have been seriously considering to return to prove my innocence in India, my medical condition is very bad and it has worsened like anything in the last over these 50 days of my kidnapping. And I'm extremely apprehensive of my safety in India. This was so inhuman, and I don't know whether I will be able to come back in a normal mental or physical condition.
With Munish Pandey, Bureau Report, India Today.
I'm heading into a break for now, but with a very heavy heart. Pulitzer Prize-winning young Indian photojournalist Danish Siddiqui has been killed in Kandahar, Afghanistan. Danish was killed during clashes in the Spin Boldak district in Kandahar. He was reporting about the recent rise of Taliban in Afghanistan. In 2018, he was the first Indian alongside colleague Adnan Abidi from the Reuters to win the Pulitzer Prize for feature photography as part of the staff for documenting the Rohingya refugee crisis. Had also formerly worked with the India Today group. young, brave, talented Danir Siddiqui, sending strength to his family.